All right, this is a match made in heaven. Peanut butter and chocolate. What more could you want in life?
Bigfoot Cooking.
That's right, today we're talking about a marriage made in heaven. We're taking peanut butter and we are covering it in chocolate. Oh yeah, this is delicious. This is the manna of life, all right? Now, of course, yes, we're making either, depending on where you're from, you may call them Buckey balls or Buckeye balls. We're gonna make some of those. We're just gonna make some of them, actually, we completely cover them in chocolate. And we're gonna make some chocolate covered rounds. Can't say the brand name, somebody might come after me. But we're gonna make some peanut butter and we're gonna cover the whole thing in chocolate and we're gonna make it delicious. Matter of fact, we might even take and put some English toffee, some Heath bars inside of a few of them. Oh yeah, and tell you what, this ain't even the limit of everything you could do. You could go absolutely crazy. You could even make this gourmet. But today, we're keeping it simple. So let's go through simple ingredients, because to do this, it don't take a lot. And this is definitely something you could get the kids, I don't want to say addicted to, because then all of a sudden you're going to have these all the time, but there's a high chance they could get addicted to this. Now, this is all the ingredients you're going to need for this. I've got a stick of butter. I've had this sitting out, so this is kind of squishy, room temperature. You don't want it to come straight out the fridge because it's really hard to mix if you do. But we got our stick of butter. We're gonna need 2 cups of peanut butter. I'm gonna need a pound of sugar. That's right, a whole pound of powdered sugar. Now, for those of you across the pond, that's about 450 grams of sugar. Yeah, I know, American system, metric system, both work if you get the right amount of sugar in there. But we're gonna have our pound of powdered sugar. We've got a teaspoon, maybe a little more, depending on if you're an addict, about a teaspoon of vanilla. We've got sea salt here. Now, you could use flaky salt as well, and all we're gonna do with this is after we dip the chocolate, we're gonna sprinkle a little bit on top for that kind of salty chocolate flavor. And then for the chocolate, I've got some white chocolate melts and some chocolate melts, along with the Heath that we're gonna mix inside of it. Again, this is really simple, so instead of talking about it, let's start making it. Now, part of the reason why I say to get your kids to help you do this is messy. If you do it right, you can actually have fun doing this. And of course, you know, dessert and flavor, why wouldn't you? So we got our stick of butter, and to the stick of butter, we're gonna add our 2 cups of peanut butter. That's right. Now, you could go crunchy, you could go honey roasted. I mean, whatever peanut butter you like, you do whatever it is that makes you happy. And for those of you who are allergic to peanut butter, my heart goes out deeply because this is really good. All right, we got 1 cup and 2 cups. Now, this is another one of those recipes that if you're off a little bit, you know, say you put 2 1/3 or something, if you're a little bit off on your measurements, this is still going to turn out okay. You don't have to be rocket science precise with this. As long as you're in the ballpark and generally around where you need to be, this is going to work great. All right, so we got our measuring cup. Let's go ahead and zero out the scale. And now we start weighing in the powdered sugar. Usually if you get a box of this at the store, they generally come in 1 pound. Now, as far as, like I say, if you're outside of America, I don't know what size your sugar comes in. Maybe it comes in 450 grams. I don't know, I haven't been to your grocery store. There we go, 1 pound in and I think 6 ounces outside of it. Yes, powdered sugar is extremely dusty and messy, but oh, it tastes so good. Now, my 1 pound here comes out to almost being 4 cups. So if you don't have a way to weigh it, 4 cups of powdered sugar, not packed, will get you about where you need to be. All right, we're just gonna pour this right in here. That's right, this is kind of a 1 bowl, 1 mess kind of deal. Well, not counting what got spilled on the counter. And now our teaspoon of vanilla, you know, maybe a teaspoon, maybe a little bit more. Don't go too crazy, but I do like my vanilla. And now for the fun part. This is where, like I say, if you got kids, oh, you let them have fun. Yes, you could go through and use like a potato masher and do this, but put you a glove on or just really wash your hands and get in here and mix this stuff up until it looks like Play-Doh. Now, the hardest part about making these Buckeyes is not to sample, because I tell you what, this, you know, it's like eating raw cookie dough. You want to get a little bit and you just you know, you don't talk about it and you get a little more and you get a little more, you wind up eating it before what you made is ready. So I'm going to resist temptation. I'm going to get a parchment paper and, well, let's roll these out into little bitty balls. Now, of course, the size you get is really up to you. It depends on your personal preference, but the nice thing about the little ice cream scoop, it gets you kind of a standard. And from there, like I say, this is about the biggest that you want to make it. If you go too big, they don't stay together as well. And when you dip them in the chocolate, they can fall off your toothpick, which I'll show you that in a second. So onward to making a bunch. All right, that's enough Buckey balls. I've still got some left. And what we're gonna do with it, I'm actually gonna pull off some bigger pieces for it, and we are just gonna pat them flat and make our little peanut butter cups out of them. That's right. You could even, if you wanted to, take this and kind of roll it out between two pieces of parchment paper, and you could take your cookie cutters and you could come back with those and, you know, make fun shapes. I mean, whatever, you know, have fun with this. That's the biggest thing about cooking in the kitchen is don't do it just because you have to eat. I mean, yeah, you do, but why not have fun doing it? You know, why not have a little enjoyment? I mean, life is only so long. Have fun with it. And you know, if your kitchen is anything like mine, somewhere around your feet is a royal taste tester. And that royal taste tester is just waiting for you to drop something. And so right now, yeah, we're just peanut butter, sugar, and a little bit of vanilla. Once you dip these in chocolate, you can't give them to your taste testers because, well, dogs aren't supposed to eat chocolate. It's bad for them. Hurts them in ways that cost you money at the vet, you know? All right, I got a little bit left. Let's check with the taste tester and see what they think. You want some, Scooby? Scooby, you ready? All right, you get one more and that's it. All right, good girl. All right, now we're gonna take these and set them in the fridge while we melt the chocolate. That way, once they cool off a little bit, they firm up even a little bit more, and that way they'll hold their shape while they're going into the hot chocolate. So let me refrigerate these and get the chocolate ready. Now don't worry, I didn't forget the toffee. I actually am making 2 batches. That's right, this is batch number 2 for the day. And into this one, I'm gonna add about 1/3 cup of toffee. Now, you could go, you know, from 1/3 cup to, you know, probably up to 1/2 cup. That's basically about half the bag. You do too much and the Buckeyes may not stay together like you want them. You don't do enough and, well, why'd you do it in the first place? So about half the bag in here. Now let's melt some chocolate. Now for this, I'm using chocolate melts. Yes, it's kind of cheating. It does make things easier because you don't have to mix like shortening and chocolate chips and all that. But I've got these guys laying around. I need to use them. And so this is where they're going. And for this, we're doing white chocolate. And we are just gonna pour all these guys into a microwave safe bowl because that's right. Chef Mike is on the scene for this. We are going to be microwaving the fool out of some chocolate, but we're only going to be doing it 30 seconds at a time. So as much as I've got in here, mostly because I got a bunch of Buckeyes. Well, let me put this in for 30 seconds and show you what happens. All right, what do we got after 30 seconds? Not much has changed, but I still want to go ahead and mix these around. So that way the ones that are on the edges come in, the ones that are in come out. The goal is not to burn this because, well, burnt chocolate is not the flavor you're after. All right, now with chocolate, once you get to that runny stage, don't keep going. I know it's tempting to put it back in the microwave and make it really hot and bubbly, but chocolate don't like that. Chocolate has a happy point, and when you go over that happy point, bad things happen. All right, so now that this is good, well, let me get my chocolate balls out of the fridge. They've been in there for about 15, 20 minutes, so they should be firming up nice and hard. And oh yeah, it's chocolate dipping time. All right, now to make your Buckeyes, just get yourself a ball here, get it all nice and pretty. Stick your toothpick in it nice and deep so it'll hold. And then we're just gonna dip it down in the chocolate and pull it back out. Boom, there you go. Now, we'll slide this guy right here and slide him off the toothpick. And when it cools off, what you can do is take your finger and kind of cover up that hole a little bit. Now that's more for your true Buckeye where you got the peanut butter still sticking out of it. A lot of these, I'm just going full dip. So that way we have chocolate from one end to the other. So yeehaw, let's go. So we're going to take these, I'm going to set them on a fork here and ease this guy down into the pool, flip it over, pull it back out, and there is one heavily coated chocolate level of goodness. Let's see, we'll slide this off the fork. Ain't quite as pretty, but again, if you want to heat the chocolate back up, that'll help out a lot. But I'm trying not to burn it. I'm just trying to use what I got left. So let me go on with my merry way. All right, and there you go. My Buckeyes are done. My peanut butter cups are done. Now all we got to do is let this cool. And for the next batch, I'm doing chocolate. So unfortunately, I have stuck myself. So I've got to let this cool off before I can even move this to start the chocolate. So while that's going on, let's check in with Benson because I heard he had something. He said there was this burning statement that he needed to tell the world. So, well, I'll let Benson take it away.
You know, it doesn't matter if you're riding with Biden or on the Trump train. I've decided that today, I, Benson Rowan Ridgeline III, have decided to run for president. That's right. Not only do I have the ability to do the job, but I can also put my big foot right up somebody's...
No, Benson. You can't say that on television.
Yes, dear, you're right. Sorry, I forgot. So, like I was saying, I, Benson, am running for president of the HOA. Thank you for voting for me.
All right, I got those guys moved out of the way. So now let's get to the chocolate. And of course, once again, we hit up Chef Mike for 30 seconds of loving every time. All right, we have our peanut butter. We have our chocolate. Now, let's let the marriage begin. Now, the only difference this time here, I'm gonna put these guys in, and when I pull them out, I'm actually gonna have my little pinch of salt ready because as these come out, they will cool and then the salt won't stick to them. But right now, perfect time for them to grab a hold. So a little bit of salt, chocolate, peanut butter. Oh, I tell you what, I'm gonna bring these, because no, I'm not gonna eat every one of these. I'm gonna bring these to work and I just about guarantee you that they ain't gonna last. I won't have them at lunch. By the way, you do realize the chocolate that's in here is the same chocolate that's in that big fountain O chocolate you see at weddings and stuff? Yep, same stuff. So now you know what it tastes like. You know, I ain't gonna lie, I should have used the skewer right off the bat. It works actually better than the toothpick. You know, sometimes you learn as you do, right? So now, it's time for our peanut butter cup. And for that, same as before, we will just drop it in, flip it over, pull it out, and let it sit pretty. Now I'm gonna let these cool off just like I did the other ones. And well, I'll check back with you guys in about 15, 20 minutes and we'll start cutting these things apart and tasting them and seeing how they're doing. All right, the cooling has happened. And as a matter of fact, where I ran out of chocolate, I had one of those, hey, this is a great idea. I took my chocolate one and dipped the backside in the white chocolate. So, oh yeah, we're getting kind of fancy around here. And you remember how I said you could do shapes? I mean, you could do little stars, you could do hearts, or you could do a Bigfoot in chocolate. Ooh, let's see how this guy disappears. It's actually really good. I mean, it's peanut butter and chocolate. How can you really go wrong with peanut butter and chocolate? And this has a little bit of that sea salt on the top of it to give it just a little bit. It takes some of the sweetness away, and of course it gives you that salty flavor that you're after too. So guys, give this one a try. You saw how easy it was, how quick it was. You could have fun doing it with the kids, and it's delicious. So till next time, remember that Bigfoot is real. He's really a peanut butter cup cookie thing. I don't know. He's good. Y'all take care. Yeah, American metric.